I think people tend to neglect the significance of slavery and knowing that that history is real, because what that does to someone's mental, to someone's perception of self, it's very damaging. You see yourself as a lot more inferior to other people. So maybe you just act as such. You don't strive for better because you know that history tells you that you know you're not equipped for certain positions. So, you know, I think there's a lot more than just black people are lazier than white people. I think that there's a lot of history that affects us today in a bunch of different ways, and that could be one of those ways. We don't strive for higher. Well, not me, anyways. Like people don't uh, don't realize their potential.
So you're saying there's some sort of like mental condition then?
Yeah, definitely. Society, your living conditions, your generations before you, media. I think the world is black person has to work twice as hard to get half as far. So that's very true in my opinion.
Um, Media. What role do you think media has in this?
Um, Again, lack of representation of black people, like just like in real life. If you're accustomed to seeing more white people working a job, you might associate that job with white people. Like that's a white person's job. As this media, if media always, that's kind of different though. If media always portrays a black person as a criminal, for example, there's an overrepresentation of black crime and black criminals as opposed to white offenders. So that could also play a part in it, and just the stereotypes that are in shows, all of that, like the roles that are played, how criminals usually tend to be black actors. Well, I don't know if that's necessarily the case today, but more often than not, it is. Black people fill in the roles of the villain more or less. So that's in terms of like shows, but media as a whole, the news, shows, sports, then again, sports. If we're talking about black people and what they strive to be when they're older, if all they know is that the NBA is 70% black, for example, I don't know if it's the NBA or the NFL, but I would take my shot at that. If I don't know, if I live in a place where all jobs, all fields are predominantly white, at least it looks that way, and I see that I could it's more likely for me to succeed in sports and athletics, I might go toward that.
And quickly, so what would be the way to change that? What's the solution?
What's the
Or
solution?
a solution? Not even the solution.
A solution in a perfect world, I'd say, a balance. There has to be a balance. There has to be a fair portrayal of all people. There's good black people that are bad. There are good white people that are bad. We can't make one people feel like they're any worse than anyone else. We have to make everyone really understand that we are just as competent. We are just as James Baldwin put it he said it very candidly in one of his debates. But we're humans just like white people are. We have faults, as do they. We are very capable. We strive and work very hard. You know what I mean? And black people need to realize that. They need to realize that, exactly that they are very capable individuals, and we've made tremendous strides, and we need to continue to do so, and not just be what's the word? Accepting. I'll use the word accepting, and not just accepting of what society tells you you're supposed to be. I guess.